Welcome to the Matt Waller Podcast, where we look at success at the intersection of technology, logistics, supply chain, retail, and CPG, also known as the retail value chain. I want to clarify that this podcast is distinct from my responsibilities as a professor in the Sam Walton College of Business. Nonetheless, it aligns with my aspiration to provide practical insights to professionals and business by showcasing companies and people that can enhance your ability to manage, lead, and strategize and market effectively in the retail value chain. Today, I'm going to do something a little unusual on this podcast. I'm not going to interview anyone. It's just going to be me. And I'm going to be talking about Walmart. And the reason I'm going to do that is I've been following Walmart for over 30 years. Before I came for my interview for my first job here in Northwest Arkansas, back in 1994, my father-in-law gave me a book called Made in America by Sam Walton. This book is an autobiography of Sam Walton. It's very interesting. It actually starts prior to the beginning of Walmart, but proceeds forward up into the 90s, early 90s. Strongly recommend you read the book. It's a great book, easy read. But if you want to understand Walmart, and a lot of people ask me about Walmart because, one, I've been here for over 30 years. I've been following Walmart for over 30 years. I've worked with Walmart on projects. Many of my former students are executives at Walmart. I continue to be amazed at how this company can change so quickly, given that it's really the largest company in the world. Most companies of that size can't move that quickly. But a lot of times, given my area of supply chain management, people ask me about Walmart from a supply chain management perspective. Recently, I've had a number of people ask me, is Walmart going to be able to continue to survive and thrive over the next few years, given all of the competition that's popping up? You've got new competition, even through e-commerce, from companies like Temu from China. It's becoming increasingly difficult to do business in many countries. And so can Walmart continue to grow and thrive? And so, again, I'm not the only expert on this by any means, and I think there's many others that have greater perspectives than I do, but I'm going to give you my perspective on this. One thing that we have to be amazed about with Walmart is how quickly they can change, given how big they are and how much they experiment with new ideas. And I believe from what I've read, both empirical articles I've studied, books I've read, case studies of companies, that you have to have a clear purpose if you're going to be able to make change quickly, if you're going to be able to thrive. And that's something Walmart has had. They've basically had the same purpose. I think it's been stated or explained different ways over the years, but save money, live better. So Walmart's purpose is very clear. Why do they exist? To help people save money and live better, both. So, but it's not enough to have a purpose. There's a lot more to it. And so today I'm going to cover purpose, the values, the how it's being enacted today, some of the things they're involved in today. And all of this is public information. It's just from my lens that I'm explaining it. But you'll see very shortly that that purpose really is important, and it's still just as relevant today as it was then. Everyone, especially now, if you think about it, we are looking for good value. And with all the inflation we've had over the past few years, it's hard because many times people are spending their budget, say, on groceries, and they don't have as much money to spend on general merchandise or other things. So Walmart has played a key role, in my opinion, over the years in taming inflation to some degree, but also in terms of generating innovation throughout the supply chain. And I'll explain that as we go through it. But if you think about it, when you think about the purpose of a company, the purpose of a company answers the question, why do we exist? It is so important, whether you're an individual or a company, to know what your purpose is. And again, Walmart's purpose is very clear: help people save money and live better. So, but the purpose of any company is shaped by its values. And so the values of Walmart have been very clear throughout the years. So as you'll see in this slide here, these are the basic values of Walmart: respecting the individual, acting with integrity, serving customers and members, and striving for excellence. So a purpose is really important because it tells you why you exist. But the values of a company, and this isn't just Walmart, it's any company, shape how you carry out that purpose, which is very important. And you'll see most companies, if you ask someone in the company, what's the purpose of your company? Many times they won't know what it is. What are your values? Again, they won't know what it is. They might find it on the website or somewhere else. So I think that the bigger you get, the more difficult it is to pivot or change. But if you're going to do it, there's got to be a lot of people that individually make decisions on their own if you want to empower them. And if you want to change quickly, you've got to empower people. But if people understand the purpose and they understand the values, that shapes how they fulfill the purpose. So again, your purpose tells you why you exist. And I think every company should have a clear purpose. They should have clear values. But over time, how the purpose is delivered or manifested changes. That can change. In other words, how you fulfill the purpose can change. So today you'll hear Walmart often saying they're a people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer helping people save money and live better. So again, you hear this all the time from leadership and other places, but you also see it in their investments that we're going to get into here in a minute. So again, the way they're fulfilling this now, if you pay attention to what they say, is they're a people-led, tech-enabled, or tech-powered omni-channel retailers. Let's take this one at a time. I'm going to show you in a minute people-led. So I'm going to show you in a minute some things that they've done, ways they've invested in associates to be more people-led, to improve the ability of people to lead. And again, as I said, if you don't know your purpose and you're a big company, it's hard to pivot. It's hard to change. If you are a big company and you know your purpose, the people in the company know the purpose, they know the values, and they know how we're currently trying to implement our purpose. In this case, Walmart's trying to be people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer, helping people save money and live better. So they're making a number of investments, I'll get to in a minute, into associates to help them do a better job of leading. Because, again, you've got to have people being able to make decisions on their own. And to do that, they've got to be equipped properly. And they've also got to be incented properly. So we'll talk about that. Tech-powered. You see Walmart right now making all kinds of investments in technology, which we will get to in a moment. So those two things, people-led, tech-powered, you're going to see, if you pay attention to where their investments have gone, you will see that they really are doing that. And so that's something else that I think in any company, I'm using Walmart as an example here, but you can take any company, look at their purpose, look at their values, look at how they're currently trying to fulfill their purpose, and say, are their investments going towards those things they say that they're doing to implement their purpose today? Are they really doing it? It's very easy to find out, especially with publicly traded companies. Then, so they're a people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer. Omni-channel means that people can shop however they want. In this case, in the case of Walmart, so I can go into the store, buy product, I can buy online, then go to the store and pick it up. I can buy online, have it delivered to my home, delivered in my home, or even delivered in some markets by drone delivery, which I have done before. I've got a little video of that on my LinkedIn page. But that's just because you have those channels that I was just describing, in-store, online, delivered to home, delivered in home, et cetera, that doesn't mean you're truly omni-channel. That just means you're multi-channel. Omni-channel means that the processes and technology that bring those multiple channels together exists. Because most, I think, brick and mortar retailers that go to omni-channel first have to pass through the multi-channel threshold. That is, you can't just flip a switch and all of a sudden be omni-channel. It's very hard because you've got to change your organizational structure. You've got to change your processes. You have to change your incentives because customers don't care what your organizational structure looks like. What that means is they want to be able to shop however they want, whenever they want to shop, regardless of how you're structured internally. But to be able to really deliver that, you've got to have an integrated organizational structure as well as integrated business processes and technologies. It's very challenging, and I don't know if any retailer at this point is truly 100% omni-channel, but they're moving that way. So Walmart really has moved that way quicker than I thought they could. I remember when they first started experimenting with buy online, pick up at store, I thought it was way out there. But yeah, during COVID, of course, that really ramped up, and all of their experimentation in buy online, pick up at store really paid off in the pandemic, and the pandemic changed the way people behaved in terms of shopping behavior and other things. So, you could say that is luck, but I always say hard work and smarts will eventually lead to what looks like luck, because you want to have as many options available as possible, whether you're a person or a company, that can enable you when a certain situation comes along to take advantage of that. But the other thing is, clearly from things I've read, and many of you have read and know, Walmart has changed their organizational structure to adapt to this. A lot of times suppliers still have not changed their organizational structure to adapt to that. And part of that's because many other retailers haven't done so. Okay, this slide comes directly from their annual report, and you will see that we have, this is the fiscal 2024 annual report. Net sales grew by 6% and from 2023, from $605 billion to $642 billion. That is huge for a company of this size. And look at the profit. The operating income went from $20 billion to $27 billion. The income before consolidated net income went from $11 billion to $15 billion. So profit was actually growing faster than revenue. But if you look at from 2022, the net sales went from 567 billion to 642 billion. So, for a company of this size, that is quite remarkable. The other thing, if you look through the annual report, which, by the way, you can get at corporate.walmart.com or other places, you can go to Yahoo Finance, has a lot of information on it. There's plenty of places to get this information. But, think about it. Their e-commerce sales exceeded $100 billion. For me, that's hard to believe, just knowing where Walmart's come from in e-commerce. And again, if you go through, you can see their operating cash flow was $36 billion, and profits were the returns were up more than 2%. At any rate, the key point is it's hard to keep growing when you're the size of Walmart. It's hard to make the changes you need to make to be able to grow and to be able to grow profitably. But again, if you've got a real clear purpose, a real clear set of values to help shape how you implement that purpose, and then you're current on how you're trying to implement that purpose from a strategy perspective, it can be done. It's not easy. So earlier I mentioned that, how they're trying to implement their purpose is they are people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer. So the people-led part, and part of what I was mentioning is that they've actually made investments to demonstrate that. If you look at hourly associates for Walmart, their wages have increased by over 30% over the past 5 years. And they are investing in all kinds of benefits, including educational benefits. So associates can study for certificates and degrees and all kinds of things to help them be more capable of leading. And then the other thing is you probably have seen or read that they are investing over $1 billion in training and development for associates by 2026. They have something called Live Better You, which they have had a large number of associates get all kinds of certificates, educational certificates that demonstrated these associates have added to their capabilities. The only reason I'm bringing this up is, again, you have purpose, it says why we exist, values that shape how you actually implement that, but then current strategies. They're people-led, tech-powered. So the question is, are they really doing that? Well, these are examples, quantitative examples of how they actually are. The other thing that I mentioned about the people-led, part of being able to implement people-led means that people know why they're doing what they're doing, but they also need education, they need new skills and capabilities, but they also need the right incentives. And hundreds of thousands of Walmart associates are participating in their stock purchase program. And so Walmart will basically contribute a certain percentage of money to stock that's being bought by associates up to a certain amount. So in some ways that gives them an incentive to buy, right? Because immediately they have a good ROI because Walmart's contributing to that purchase. But now their incentives are aligned with Walmart's. Any company can do this. Walmart's been doing it for a long time. Again, if you read Made in America by Sam Walton, you'll see that's actually something that's deeply embedded in their culture that goes way back. So you've got people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer. So now the question is Walmart investing in technology to make them a tech-powered omni-channel retailer? I'll give you an example. If you look at the next slide, slide 5, this comes from I've got the URL up there, walmart.com/shopwithfriends. It's called Shop with Friends. It's a virtual fitting room, as you can see. So you can scan this QR code here, and you can basically look at various outfits and share it with other people as well. So this is investment in AI and computer technology that makes sense for an omni-channel retailer. You need these kinds of technologies. Are these technologies where they need to be in 5 years? Probably not. But you've got to be moving forward and experimenting if you want to get there. Shop with Friends is one example of a tech-powered omni-channel retailing strategy, tactic that Walmart's using that is consistent with what they've said they're going to do. And it takes a lot of investment to get these things right. Another example is from, I find, as you see here on slide 6, this comes from Walmart Global Tech website. If you're interested in knowing about what Walmart's doing from a technology perspective, there's a great website, Walmart Tech, Global Tech website. So it's tech.walmart.com. And they've got a bunch of really good content. They've got blogs out there about technology that they're implementing, and you can read and learn more about it. This particular blog is about how Walmart is automating automated storage and retrieval systems in their distribution centers and fulfillment centers, and using robotics. This is not easy. This is easier said than done. It's hard to make this work, but there's a bunch of blogs on here you can look at. The point of all this is that if you look at where Walmart's investing right now, you can find lots of evidence for where they are truly investing in a people-led, tech-powered, omni-channel retailer perspective. Walmart is investing heavily in their digital businesses, like selling advertising. If you Google retail media networks, you can find out more about retail media networks. But it's basically, a retailer like Walmart can sell advertising on their website, walmart.com. They can sell it on their app. They can have product pages, brand pages. They can sell it in the store, like when you do self-check stand. There can be advertisements there at the gas pump, over the intercom, et cetera, et cetera. There's all kinds of places that they can sell advertising. And according to their annual report in 2024, their sales of advertisements exceeded $3.4 billion. Think about that. I mean, and this is still relatively new if you think about it. Walmart also has supply chain as a service. They call it fulfillment as a service. And this particular slide, which you can get to, this is from their website, but it allows a company to not only sell through their marketplace, but to basically provide services to marketplace sellers to sell more efficiently and more effectively using Walmart business processes, technology, and assets. But the digital business is complicated and has to be thought through carefully. They're monetizing all kinds of aspects of their digital footprint, and I think you're going to see more of this in the future. That would be my guess. But it's really, if you think about it, it's part of an effective tech-powered omni-channel retailer. You've got to use data monetization. Data and information are really some of the most valuable parts of the supply chain. I think many times companies underestimate the value of supply chain, but it's clearly something Walmart has always paid a lot of attention to. But today, to be able to deliver value through supply chain management, it's got to be tech-powered. Technology is the key to success in supply chain management in the future. And that includes computer vision technology, sensors, RFID, visual sensors, artificial intelligence, I've got to say that, which is really true. There's all kinds of ways of implementing artificial intelligence in supply chain. So, what you heard just now is my perspective, my opinion about what it takes to be nimble when you're a large company. I actually think it's true even if you're a small company. You do need to know your purpose and your values and how you're going to implement it from a strategic perspective. And then your investments you need to put your money where your mouth is, with where you say you're going. I see that happening at Walmart across the board. There's many companies where I don't see it happening. But again, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of companies don't even know their purpose or their values, at least people in the company don't. And then if you look at their investments, a lot of times their investments aren't consistent with that overall purpose or even current strategy. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to probably do a few others similar to it. If you're finding value in this podcast, we greatly appreciate your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Additionally, following us on Apple and Spotify and leaving up to a 5-star review would be immensely helpful. We welcome any feedback or questions related to the podcast, as well as suggestions for further topics and guests. You can leave your comments on our YouTube channel, and rest assured that I will read each and every one of them. Please also take a moment to check out our podcast sponsors, as they play a critical role in keeping this podcast running. For more information on specific topics, timestamps, or links to articles mentioned during the podcast, head over to mattwallerpodcast.com.